Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3 and the Realm of the Chaos Dwarves, where today we begin our march into the greater world. And I don't really think, I think the plan that I came up with at the end of the last session still holds. We don't have military access with you, but we do have it with you. We're just going to go ahead and walk through your land up to start some shit with the Greenskins. I have put a little bit more thought into how we're going to deal with Clan Rictus over here in the long term. Let's take a second and examine this situation. Let's give it all the way down here. Okay.
Trenched Craventail.
So we have been friendly with Trenched Craventail in the past. However, we're currently at -50, deteriorating toward -62. He loved all of the murdering of elves and lizards that we did a while back, but he absolutely hates both of the other Chaos Dwarf factions, both of the ones that are still alive anyway. And the closer we get with them, the more he's going to consider stabbing us in the back. Now, right now, we have a massive military strength advantage. He owns 4 settlements, and they're a province and 1 settlement in one of our provinces, and all kind of like right in the middle of our territory. So if he did turn against us, he could probably do some real damage for a few turns until we got something in place to stop him. I'm a little torn. Like, there's definitely a version of this where we just break the non-aggression pact and wipe him out. I'm going to try to hold off on that because the AI can sometimes be... they can take a very dim view of pact breakers, you know. Doing something like that can really affect your diplomatic reliability for a long time, can cause other players to turn on you when they otherwise wouldn't. For the moment, I'm saying let's just hold out. If he breaks the non-aggression pact, we can start moving armies back, or potentially, depending on where we're at financially, start building up a 3rd army for the purpose of dealing with him or whatever. For right now, I would like to just focus on the task at hand. We have lots and lots of resources overall. So let's see, it'll be 2,500 armaments to get our Great Kiln online, and I think that is a pretty high priority thing. And aside from that, I don't know that we need to do a lot of like backfield upgrades. I guess, you know, continuing to upgrade the weapons workshops certainly makes sense. What else are we doing here over at Underel's tomb? We are mostly just like waiting for this to get finished. Yeah, that's right. This is one of those places where it's just like I don't know for sure that I wanted to put anything in those 3rd slots. Okay, that's fine. We should probably construct one of these order buildings in the Howling Wastes just to make sure we can hold everything down. But beyond that, I don't know that we need to. I don't know that we need to pursue upgrades in all of our settlements all that badly. Okay, we're a little bit under our labor threshold here. Oh, and we have 165 conclave influence. So, do we want to buy a seat? There are no finished tiers here. If we bought this seat, it would increase our number of convoys by 1, and it increases our convoy cargo capacity. You know what? Let's go ahead and do this. All Chaos Dwarf players get to benefit from all of this industry bonus. And that means, let's check in on the convoy thing. Okay, 2 turns until you're ready to go again. I think we'll go ahead and wait for that. 2 turns ain't so long. And with that, I think we're good. I don't think we have any other like really pressing upgrades. We need to upgrade both of these small settlements as much as we can, but we're working on it. And we want to have money left over for running the caravans, because I would love to be trading money out for other things in. What's up? Is this... Okay. We wanted to trade military access, so now we can move through any Chaos Dwarf player's land without pissing everybody off, which is good news. Sort of. I mean, also, it is very much the case that we sort of don't care, right? Alright, so the rats have little dudes running around our territory. The Disciples of Ashut would love it if we would carry out an assassination of a character belonging to one of their enemies. You know, there's something to be said for hiring on, like, a map covering unit or two, just so that we can see if we, having a little bit of, like, foresight is a good idea. So, yeah, bonus wound chance, that seems pretty good. So they have the ability to wound enemy heroes, slow down enemy armies, or damage the walls of enemy settlements when used as map characters. This is not ideal. We don't really need the damage walls ability because we already have that instantly damaging opposing walls ability from the tower. But it's nice to have somebody who can do some wounding. All right, convoy is returning to the capital. Let's get you out here and make you as good at knocking out enemy characters as possible. Yeah, so the map action is meaningful. Also, just like vision, just having all the extra vision is meaningful. Do we want to hire another Castellan to fold into this army? You know what? I think I do. I don't think I had realized how many Castellans we were entitled to. You can see here we have capacity for 4 of them. And I'm not 100% sure what building even those are coming from. So this one provides bonus output in the local province. You kind of hope that your armies are not going to be in your own provinces all that often. This one gives upkeep reduction for Infernal Guards. Yeah, that seems slightly better. So Umgakaz is going to get folded into Barok's army. The other one is a map action character. So we'll take the stuff that is a little bit more appropriate to army work here. He's gonna have some catch up to play for sure. They're both going to be running up in that direction generally. Do I want to hire one more in right now? Because we do have the capacity for one more, and having 2 scouts lets us get a much better feel. Karak Vrag, is this the site of another one of the relics? Karak Dum. So all of the majors are behind battles, not behind conquering specific areas. And then there's a couple of lessers that are about controlling particular areas and a couple that are about winning battles against rogue armies. Okay, interesting. So where exactly is this? This is like way up here. Yeah, alright, well, Karak Azorn will be our forward foothold as we try to make that work. Mino. And we can take the more direct route now without pissing anybody off. And also our caravan masters are leveling up still, which is great. We're producing such a large amount of materials, it definitely feels like we should be able to do some upgrading. 4,000, jeez, and then another 7,500 to get to 3. It's pretty harsh. We might actually want to just push this camp up. Well, I mean, upgrading this one lets us get more gold out of the gold mine, which will certainly help with establishing the other one. Yeah, all right. What do we want to do with all of our raw materials and stuff? What is most important? We could finish upgrading this. 300 raw materials turning into 150 armaments is pretty nice and efficient. Yeah, I'm okay with that. We're spending enough raw materials on that kind of stuff that I'm shorting the amount of armaments we're actually going to produce every turn because I'm taking us under our production cap, but it's fine. It'll all come back around. We should have a quick peek at the current overall military position of this ogre player that we're about to be adjacent to as well. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves another one of those techs that we wanted. Yeah, do this. We're definitely getting to the point where we have so much armament production that it really doesn't make any sense not to turn on some of those Hellforge buffs. So that's the thing I should be thinking about. And this was 2K? 2,500. Okay. Alright, we'll get there. I might want to hold off on burning raw materials for a little while. So Greasus, what's up? Strength rank 3. Actually a real danger. Okay, we probably don't want to get into a fight with Greasus then. I was wondering, like, if he was easy to pick off as we just kind of like wandered past, taking his gold mine, I think would make some sense. But never mind, since that does not in fact seem to be on the table, we'll just ignore that.
Is up, crew. Best strongy.
Alright, we're all running up this way. And like I said, I think we're going to hold off on spending much for the moment here. Yeah, because you can't build the marble quarry until tier 3. And getting Karum established as well. Yeah, so this upgrading this building is definitely the next gold thing we want to do. That said, sending out convoys is not a terrible use of gold either. Growlish, get out there and do something. I mean, we could turn some armaments into an awful lot of money. I don't think I actually want to do that. You know, what I would really like to do is money for labor, and we do not get that choice. Why don't you go out to the Palace of Ruin? Take, for some reason, 1,599 gold with you. Yeah, just bring us back some stuff. Okay, you're 4 turns off of returning to the capital. I think this is a situation where we want to get another one of these rotating in. Ooh, additional Infernal Iron Sworn units. Plus 5% ward save for the whole army. Yo, Skaldoris the Bronze, welcome aboard, my dude. Go and exchange. I mean, I don't really want to be trading out armaments. Volary, we already have somebody on the Volary. Like Crystal Spires, I guess. We do need more gold income. There's certainly no two ways about that. We are going through gold now actually quickly enough that it's a problem. Alright, and new guy is going to want some skill points established here. I guess lower the chance of the convoy ambush. That's a pretty annoying event. It's like one of the few things that can really force us to have to fight a battle manually. Okay, random enemy hero running around is going to give us at least the opportunity to attempt to knock out an enemy character and take advantage of that quest. And Kulani Growlish has immediately been ambushed. Stealth is possibly not the strong suit of our would-be ambushers, who visibly await our convoy from some rather questionable hiding places. So it's an ogre army. They have some scrap launchers. They have a couple units of proper ogres. These lead belchers are ogres carrying cannons, like a gun, because they're large enough to do that. So that's a little concerning. We can dodge this battle just for some journey time. You know what? I'm okay with that. Don't even stress about it. All right. A seat you controlled has been usurped. How fucking dare they? Which one was it? We still have these two. So I guess it was on tier 1. Is it obvious which one? Okay. There's a marker. Ah, yes, it was the one that just gives a bunch of raw materials. That's actually really annoying. Alright, buddy, you keep up with these machinations. Here's the thing. He knows at this moment how inconvenient it would be for me to just, like, crush him. Alright, Karakazorn is not actually all that well defended. Baruch should be able to handle it by himself. And we dare approach you. Let's see if the disciples of Hashut have any interest in buying me into this war. So far, this has not worked out. But this is an enemy that's a little bit more impressive. Okay, they would in fact like it if I participated. So yeah, give me a little something. That really is a little something, huh? Alright, our convoys are completing. Ooh. We discovered an ever-changing blade for Scalf Cragbrows. That is a pretty handy weapon. Plus 10 melee attack is pretty considerable. Okay. And then we fucked some shit up. So obviously we got war machines and flying monsters and stuff. The walls of this settlement shall not hold. This army is not actually that bad for a garrison. Orc units are definitely better fighters than a lot of these sort of like trash infantry that we'll see. And then they have orc biggins and even a unit of proper black orcs with the big armor piercing axes and the 110 armor. But numbers plus guns, you know? Numbers plus guns. I think we take this as a tower. I feel like we should take towers everywhere that we can, right? And we have claimed the ancestor relic of Thugni, and I think this one we're going to take as a personal claim. The effect it has just isn't very impressive, and I want to take all 3 of the great relics anyway for the purpose of making the final quest battle a little bit easier. So we're going to take this as a runic tablet, which totally fucking rules, and get ourselves back all of the influence we just spent taking over the tower. Yeah, 5% ward save for all units in army is just good stuff. Also, Baruch is leveled up enough to earn himself a proper mount, and plus 1 unit capacity for Chaos Warriors. That's cool and fun. Did that? No, that item did not automatically go on to Baruch. Well, I want him to take it. Because obviously we have the Hellshard amulet in that slot on Drazoth. You don't have a weapon equipped either. We do have a weapon for you. And then you have nothing in your armor slot. It does seem like we're maybe a little bit short on proper armor. Yeah. All right. Well, that's a shame. Do we have any spare ancillaries to equip? We don't. Not really. We have not discovered a lot of things to equip on our characters in this battle here, in this campaign so far.
Dalabdanu Cinderbraj.
All right, convoy overseers just need to keep taking convoy relevant upgrades. We have 1 space open. We're waiting on Domitashbaz to return to the capital. I think we can afford to just take 3 turns off. That's fine.
Anta erpetwe.
Still don't really want to mess with these. Yep, so we're saving gold for this, we're saving armaments for the other thing, and we're saving raw materials to get turned into armaments.
Dabarato.
Oh, I forgot to... Right.
Rimas kublu.
Both of our heroes had the tiniest little bit of movement left over from their previous orders, and so they did not behave as though they had no orders. They didn't ask for information on what they should be doing, which is really annoying. That's my bad for clicking them both slightly over the line. But so they basically spent a whole turn not catching up, which is annoying. I need them to go forward faster. All right. So in these mountainous areas, we should talk about the underway stance a little bit. A lot of factions have to run around the mountain paths and stuff, but we have access to the underway, allowing us to just more or less just dive straight through a mountain range.
Azkala tadraj kusar.
You know, technically we're moving beneath it.
Harazobrin. Got vagas.
I believe the orcs also have that, so we need to be careful. We need to remember that they could do things like that at any moment. But you can see here the big circular area that we can move in using the underway. When you make a move via the underway, any place you move to consumes all of your movement immediately. You cannot initiate battles. You can't do anything else with that army after making the move. So we want to be sure here. Oh, this is just indicating this player, not specifically the settlement. Is it indicating this settlement because it's their capital? Yes. Well, it's a province capital at least. You can see the like the fancier symbol around it. I think might be indicating that it's his capital. How many settlements do you own, Grimgor? 7. Okay, yeah. Maybe that is in fact his capital. I mean, it has gemstones in it. It feels to me like that would probably be a good idea to take over, regardless of whether or not it has the any relevance to the drill quest. So let's build up the patrol routes, both for the control and because the campaign movement range might actually be relevant. We're going to have armies in this area for a little while. And you know what? Pumping up the main settlement, like trying to get this developed enough that it can stand as the front of our territory against an enemy push is probably a good idea. So that quest battle is all the way over here past Yeti Peak. We're going to have to run through an awful lot of ogre territory to get there, which is going to almost certainly just result in the ogre player being very mad at us. Unless we can generate enough positive feeling from him that he's willing to give us military passage. And it looks like just fighting with Grimgor is going to do that. He likes our military actions against the orcs. So let's keep stomping Grimgor for the moment. We'll creep closer to where we need to go. We'll see if we can't win Greasus' favor. He considers the Oracles of Tzeentch to be his main threat. He's currently only at war with a different orc faction. But he just doesn't like Grimgor. Clan Rictus is at 3 settlements. Are they at war with... Yeah, they're losing land to one of the other Chaos Dwarf players. Okay, that's fine. We don't really care about that. We have more important things to do. So yeah, maybe taking Carrick Vrag next if we can is a good idea. Just kind of like deal a real blow to Grimgor's economy, because this is probably where he has most of his advanced buildings built up. Firemouth is connected to Carrick Azorn. We should get that too, but Baruch can do that. I'm gonna jump us over here. We'll be inside Flaming Scribe's territory.
Tell me all about pitiful need.
The flaming scribes seem to basically be nobody, though. Is this their only settlement? You know what? We'll probably just crush them then and take that. That way we can own the entire Mountains of Morn. Yep, that's Drazot's move. We're going to pop over here and fuck these guys up. Oh, also we discovered Grimgor Ironhide. This is dangerous. This is why you want forward scouts, so you don't do exactly the thing we done here. If he were to rush us, his army has 2 giants, a unit of stone trolls, some rock lobbers. This is honestly not awesome for us. We probably win that fight. Probably. And Baruch needs to chill for a turn or two and just heal, ideally. So yeah, I guess just hold on. We have 150. I keep clicking that button to go to the Tower of Jar. We have 150. Do we want to buy a new seat and open up the next tier? Do we want to hope that the AI will do so? These are 300 each. Military upkeep down for each military seat claimed. How many? We have one. One is the number. And one it shall remain. Okay. So this upkeep reduction is not very good for us. I guess this is a second military seat. So it would be a 2% reduction. Honestly, I'm kind of just not that impressed with a lot of the stuff on this tier. High Commissioner is interesting. But yeah, maybe it wouldn't be so bad to not get one of those right away. All Lords gain the Flame and Shadow ability. You know what? Give me this. We're gonna get some more army abilities for our fighters, because we're gonna need it. And we're still waiting on the resources necessary for all the building upgrades we actually want. Yeah, I might have screwed up here. This could be ugly. I got a little overzealous. Hopefully the ogres won't take offense at us fighting these Tzinchian forces. I mean, they're probably not, you know, this is not going to be the enemy of my enemy. It's my friend situation. You can't necessarily trust a demon, you know? Okay, Grimgor is ignoring me. He is claiming Black Fang. Well, that definitely makes jumping Black Fang a little bit less likely. Here comes their agent, who does not attempt to kill us, strangely. Kalani Growlish has encountered a Beastmaster. Hell yeah, spend cargo and gain a feral mammoth? That rules. Oh, and Skaldorus the Bronze has received a plague. That's probably not that big of a deal. So yeah, his army is at still full health. Okay, we're gonna get there. We're gonna deal with that. So this is our specialized wounding Castellan. 51% chance. Go get him. Okay, the caravan arrived. It's not really the moment. All right, sure. Can I see the results? Here we go. Yeah, so didn't win the coin flip. Not up to par in this attempt. The assassination was a failure. That's fine. We tried. You just keep running to join Baruch. And we have the question. Do we want to attack Grimgor here and now? Do I think I could win this fight? So he's got 2 armies, or 2 units of real, like, actual dangerous infantry. 2 units of, like, pretty good infantry. He's got a lot of crappy archers. The orc archer units are not very good. They have very poor accuracy. Chariots and wolf riders I'm not really scared of. A couple of giants could be a problem. These things are effectively, these are melee war machines, kind of like the ones we can build. In use, effectively a chariot. And then they have a couple of big catapult units, and the rock lobber is a legitimately solid weapon.
Cinderbraj.
Let me try something. Actually, I'm going to try to be sneaky about this. We're going to run up to here, stay in the trees to the side of the road, drop into ambush mode, because we could for sure beat this army if we were able to take out their catapults first. And I think that there's some chance. I'm going to have Baruch stay in place one more turn just so Umgakaz can catch up. I do want to fold this unit in there. And we have enough armaments to make this move. 9 turns. We're definitely going to want to rush that some. In addition, we have the gold to upgrade the sentinels again. Gonna have to wait on that for a while as well. We really cannot afford to push the upgrades. I definitely want to leave a bunch of raw materials so that we can get our armament count back up. So I guess there's nothing else to do, probably. Yeah, 1 turn until we can launch a new convoy. We'll just leave it there. I sure hope this ambush works. It's gonna make my life a lot easier. And you know, orcs tend not to be strategic geniuses. This is the end of the trade agreement, not the end of the non-aggression pact, which is weird. Why would you? That's just harming your own economy for no reason. Kulani Growlish has run into Vashnar. There's some hungry demons out here. So, a bunch of very heavily armored Chaos Chosen. Some Chosen with halberds, some Chaos Knights, Dragon Ogres, Hell Cannons. This battle is a huge pain. And I don't like the number of these units that are good against large, because the strengths of this army mostly come from the large units that we have. I think honestly, maybe we should just bail on this, sacrifice a unit of normal Chaos Dwarf warriors. Also, embezzlement. A large number of laborers have been claimed by a commander for his own purposes. At the very least, such an act is presumptuous, if not plain treachery. While he is too well connected to kill out of hand, we may be able to ensure he at least serves our purposes on a mission of our design. The only question is where to send him. So we can send him and his stolen laborers to the rear echelon to help out with the troops. I don't know that we need... well, you know, we're about to be fighting orcs and stuff. Maybe this is the better play. 200 labor is not all that much. Yeah, you know what? To the rear echelon. Alright, somehow Grimgor saw through my terrible ambush. Alright, who are we kicking out of this army for Umgakaz? It's probably a unit of archers. Probably what we want to do is end up replacing all of these archers.
Nadaru Tamuzhrum. Shutilag Beta Roots.
Alright, now this army resembles the first army even more. And we'll make a move toward Firemouth.
Umlet.
And you're going to try this again.
Exxon.
Failure again. Okay, well that's 2 lost coin flips in a row. It's a little annoying, but we'll get there. Also, every time we fail an attempt, we are getting... let me start researching this stuff. Start getting improvements here. We are getting some experience on the hero. Yeah, notice we've almost leveled up, so we'll get better. We'll get there. I'm gonna have Drazoth just move for Carrick Frag. If they want to chase us, they are free to do so, and maybe they will simply stumble into our brilliant ambush, which is totally gonna work this time. You know, maybe. Alright, so now where do we want to push? I mean, yeah, the armament assembly line still makes sense. Turning raw materials into gold production, honestly, also probably makes sense. Oh, right, with an Earl's Tomb, this is a thing of great import. We got to build an Earl's Tomb. Okay, well, next time we have 6,000 gold. And we're going to dispatch a convoy. Domitashbaz. So what are we doing now? I kind of don't want to trade out a bunch of money right now. We did just hit the big threshold of armaments that we were looking for. So we could turn armaments like into labor. Alright, somebody else is already running the Palace of Ruin route. We could run down to Castle Drakenhof and quote-unquote exchange some armaments, employ some armaments in the pursuit of some labor. I think that's fine. You know, you want to use them for something. You know, maybe we should go ahead and turn on some of our manufactory upgrades now. So this is... How do I... Okay, click this button and then... Just tears 30 armor off of every enemy. That's really interesting. That upkeep will be 12 per turn. Cannot afford the active. Okay, I spent too much. We're going to have to wait until next turn to turn these on because they have an upfront cost. That's fine. We'll get there. So is Grimgor just going to sit in Black Fang, I wonder, or are we going to see some movement here? Okay, ending the non-aggression pact as well. It looks like they're getting down to very few settlements remaining, so they might attack us when they think we are distracted, just to get some territory to try to hold away from the other Chaos Dwarves, which would be a very annoying thing for them to do because then that stuff's going to fall to the other Chaos Dwarves, and it's going to be a pain in the ass for us to negotiate it back. Alright, flip the coin again. Hey, he did it! Alright, +1 unit capacity for Ironsworn. Absolutely rad. We've successfully wounded Dusty Eye Gouger. If at first you don't succeed, try to commit murder again. And that gets us this, so some diplomatic relationship and a fireball ring for one of our heroes. I think the one that we just folded into Barrack's army has no gear on at all, right? Yeah, so we should equip some stuff here. Let's give you that Ruby Ring of Ruins so you can shoot some fireballs. And then we also have some spare talismans. I mean, a Dawnstone's a good idea, right? Just like physical resistance is broadly very powerful. And we do not have anything else available. So I can't tell if Grimgor has moved. But I'm just going to go ahead and put the boots to Karak Vrag here. Let's see what he does about it. We don't have a ton of convoy influence. We can at least set this up as a level 2. I mean, that's fine. We got a lot of labor out of that. We've leveled up enough to get some more regiments of renown. Okay, where are we at now? We finished the groups that we really care about. So what are we spending skill points on next? We could take buffs for the units in our army. I'm inclined to do that rather than taking just individual combat buffs for Drazoth. Drazoth is already totally terrifying. There's some interesting stuff in the blue line here, like raising your chance to actually successfully ambush people, improving casualty replenishment rate even further. That's definitely meaningful. One thing we should talk about is Lightning Strike, because this is a capability that is completely unreplicated anywhere else in the game. The first couple levels of Lightning Strike just make it so you reach battle faster when used as a reinforcement army. If you get the third level of it, it allows you to attack enemies in a Lightning Strike, which is a special kind of battle that prevents reinforcement armies from appearing at all. The battle is done and over before anybody can get there. This can be extremely valuable, especially on a single powerful army that's likely going to be able to 1v1 any enemy you come across. So yeah, maybe we should push through this line. Yeah, let's get these logistician points. We'll head for Lightning Strike. Lightning Strike is good stuff. And you... I guess we'll take the other ammunition buff, and now you actually have all of the relevant ranged combat stat points. So the gem refinery will, wow, produce actually a shit ton of money. That's raw materials into gold, which is awkward, but it is a lot of money. And it's a very efficient conversion overall. I think I'm going to do here the same thing I did in the other spot. Turn on the patrol routes. I think we're going to demolish this building. I don't actually want to be able to recruit goblins here. What I want to be able to recruit is dwarf units. Yeah. Get that set up so that we have a forward place to rebuild when we lose stuff. All right, so Blood Peak is part of a province that belongs to the ogre player. One thing we could do is take Blood Peak over and then trade it to the ogre player. Hopefully in exchange for quite a lot of money, and also it would be cool if we could get like military access for that. Certainly a possibility. I think let's go ahead and grab Firemouth. Ugh, moving through these mountains costs so much extra. Mountain pass movement is really slow. We spent your turn already. And coming back here, I really don't know what I am after. This is 6,000 gold. Yeah, Pig Barter doesn't need any upgrades. I am not yet in the place where I want to be rushing constructions, I think. So yeah, I guess I'm good for the moment. Alright, let's see if we see Grimgore move out of Black Fang here. I'm actually really curious how he's going to handle the incursion. I might want to consider... no, I really don't. I really don't want to build an army to defend against Clan Rictus. But maybe it would be worth it to put something together temporarily. So watching carefully, I think we saw an orc army flag over here briefly. So it might be the case that the orcs like moved an army up in ambush mode. So they moved up and then went into hiding. It's also possible that they moved up and then turned around. I don't know. Hard to say what they might have chosen to do. This should be an extremely easy battle. And on this one, I think we're already having trouble converting our, what do you call it? We're already having trouble keeping our labor levels up. So I guess occupy as a factory. Right, +1 unit capacity for the Great Taurus. That's cool. Still working on Arcane Conduit. I feel like I get a lot of value out of earthing because I really do overcast just like a ton.
Awanrag.
What does this building do? Okay. It's just resource production for our trade units. That's fine. I think I'm going to demolish these. I don't really want to have a spot in here reserved for hiring units. And this building should be that building. Just move things around so that we can clear up spaces where we need them. Do I want to push you up to tier 3? I don't know. I want to push this up to tier 3. I know that. So that we can build the gemstone mine. Alright, next turn we'll have enough gold to finally build that landmark. Honestly, Drazoth... I'm going to move Drazoth outside of the city.
Strolden. Vecindaris.
I'm going to try to let this look undefended. See if it will draw the attention of our enemies that way. And what else would we want to build here? I mean, probably a donation barrel, right? For the moment, at least. Just get that gold income flowing as best we can. Unfortunately, heroes cannot use the underway by themselves. It's a movement mode that is only available to actual armies. So it can be tricky to get your forward scout on in areas like this. So I think we're waiting on things there. Before I forget, let's actually turn on some of those manufactory buffs. So the most important thing, in my opinion, is I want to get passive, I want to get extra powder going here. Extra reload. So right now this would be 72 armaments per turn, just this. We could run an ammunition replenish as well. That's a big, gosh, that's a big cost. It is pretty good though, right? And we're producing 480 per turn. Yeah, I'm going to apply this.
Fashart prodmi udio talaj.
And then the question, do we also want this one? I kind of do. I think these two together are fantastic. Frenzy for the bonus attack and the bonus damage. Yeah. Just turn on a couple of modifications. Really just eat up all of our incoming armaments per turn. It's fine. Oh yeah, we had a mission to do that. Cool. Well, that puts us on enough gold to come back here and where are we? Here we go. To build this thing. Just 50 raw materials per turn with no workload limit. And a very significant movement increase. Alright, somebody's got to go to Blood Peak. It probably should be Drazoth because we're gonna want to take on that quest battle up there with our real army. For some reason, Goldtooth is just like gathering units around us, keeping a very close eye on what's going on, I guess. The AI often behaves in ways that I have difficulty fathoming. Right, they have a scouting unit here who we can maybe just cut in half with our own agent. The guide has tracked down your convoy, offering to lead the way to our destination faster. Yeah, go ahead and... That's really not that much money. Alright, so we got ourselves some demon forges. Physical resistance up by 10% for all Kadai seems very significant. And obviously the gold rank thing will end up mattering. If we end up at war within the next... Actually, this doesn't have a timer, does it? Okay, no, the red one is the timer. Okay, so within the next 6 turns, we'll get some money. I don't think that's enough money to make me want to rush it. We'll just let it happen if it happens. So I am going to want this upgraded, I think. This gives a global recruitment duration change, which is certainly interesting. I wonder... You know what? I'm going to do this. And I can't rush it. Oh, it needs to be there's 500 labor in the region, not just 500 labor in your empire in total. Yeah. Okay. I was going to rush through that so that we could, obviously, so that we could reform that army a little bit before the big quest battle. But I guess it's not going to work that way. The mines are probably a fair thing to upgrade next. Try to get that gold deposit up. This seems like a fine thing to do. I think this is... Is this upgrade worth it then? Probably not even. I'm just not even going to bother. Let's build a donation barrel. Let's build... Well, I mean, I'm no longer really thinking of this as like our forward defensive point, right? So that being the case, what do I want from it? You know what? Actually, maybe this is still worth doing, and I'm just not going to worry about rushing it. Having more places in the Empire where you have that global recruitment duration reduction makes it a lot easier to form up armies on the different fronts.
Doomskull.
So Baruch is ready to move. We're just going to be moving through orc territory. I'm debating... You know what? I'm going to send Drazoth north, I think. Can we see all of their settlements yet? They have 6 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. So 4, 5, 6. We can, in fact. So maybe I do want to double back for a second and just try, like, we could potentially wipe Grimgor out completely. And I like the idea of closing off a war. But maybe the best move for Drazoth is to press this way, take this down, get the quest battle, and then double back and try to take these things down. Because that way everything we're fighting is sort of like to the west. And we have Baruch come through this way and start working on these things. I actually like that quite a bit. Oh, these things are showing their armament upkeep per turn on them. Fair enough.
Mino.
Well, I mean, we're ready to go. Do I want to drop anything here to pick up cool regiments of renown? Because we could, again, we could drop some arrows. We have an awful lot of ranged units here. It might be a good idea to drop some of the archers. This army's a little bit short on like stand and fight type infantry, in part because I chose not to hire any Chaos Dwarves who are carrying shields. You know what? I am gonna go ahead and let's I move you into here. What's in the firearm recruitment pool? Okay, so we could just pick up another blunderbuss unit as well. We could grab a unit of fire glaives. Second unit of fire glaives. We don't have the money right now, but in theory, yeah, that would be a 4-turn recruit. That's too long, y'all. Okay, so maybe we hang out here for 1 turn because I need money. I'm gonna go back to my
This was
ambush move.
Utingaris.
We'll make this decision next turn. But I do think I want Baruch headed this way.
Arduhai.
I guess I'm gonna try being sneaky with him too. There's not really much reason not to, you know?
Dolph. Bima Skarn.
Alright, you're gonna catch up at least. Oh, and see, I clicked slightly outside the thing. I left him a tiny bit of a movement order for next turn, so let's make sure we delete that. Explosive missile damage up, missile strength up, and ammunition up for, yeah, basically all of the artillery. Seems pretty solid. Getting convoy skill points. We may as well launch a new convoy. And right now, we don't... maybe I don't want to launch a new convoy this turn. We don't have the resources to do anything. Yeah, you know what? Next turn. Next turn, when we have generated some gold. That's probably actually an okay move to make. We're going to skip the convoy dispatch for this turn. And we're getting to the point here on gold where we could potentially start thinking about a third army if we wanted. For the moment, I think I'm just going to grab another unit of blunderbusses for Drazot's army so that we can keep it moving. But I would like to get the Fireglaves, I think, when we can afford to. Alright, what kind of movement do we see from you? Their hero fails to see through our ambush, so this army is still invisible to them. And we haven't seen Grimgor leave Blackfang yet, right? It has not obviously occurred. Let's creep over here. Are you still camped in Blackfang? No, you're not. So he moved somewhere else, and he might be in a sneaky movement mode, potentially. I want to take a second here and try to wound out this hero so that they have less vision. Yeah, let's... Alright. Success. We lost 2 coin flips in a row, and then we won 2 coin flips in a row. Also, turning down the voice volume definitely did not reduce the volume of the voices, which is kind of annoying. Okay, we have to be very careful with our money here. Let's throw you onto a convoy where we exchange dollars, sure, for labor, whatever. And I guess we will exchange an awful lot of our dollars. Yeah, as much as it'll let me, really. Okay. Now we can afford to spend money on other things. Okay, these are only 765 to recruit in this way, so let's boot you. Grab you. And then the instant recruit cost for these two is like 3,000. We can do that next turn as we're about to leave the settlement. And if I'm going to do that next turn, and it doesn't seem like we have any enemies around here anyway, I think I'm just going to kick these two out so we're not paying their upkeep. Yeah, you tell him. Drizzle Rathjon or whatever. It's a real language. Who says it isn't? I guess I don't really want any upgrades over here. We're still working on the important thing over here. Kind of low on all of our currencies, so I guess I'm not going to stress about this. Okay, so somebody else finished one of these other districts, one of these other bits of the tower. We can take back the raw materials thing, or we can just save up for these, which I think are kind of crummy. But they do cause, you know, movement up the tree. You know, a reduction in raw material consumption without an attendant reduction in output is... I mean, it's something, right? Maybe it's worth saving for High Commissioner? I'm going to start by usurping this seat. Give me this back. I have strong feelings about it. Minus 10 diplomatic relations for a while. That makes sense. I was annoyed too. Well, I guess I'm going to grab Black Fang and we'll see. He could still be somewhere over here and just in ambush mode. Maybe. Hard to say. The Ogre twins just wander off into the mountain fog. I'm sure they have something critically important to do, and they're not just blundering around wasting time. Oh, looks like Clan Rictus may have been eliminated. The Tusked Sons certainly were. We got back from the imposing halls of the Vampire Castle Drakenhof with 2 Vargulfs and a sick crown of skulls. Passive ability, the Hunger. As long as your leadership is functional and you are in melee, just constant healing. It's not very much, but over the course of a battle, it shit'll add up. That's an arcane item? Napunahud, what do you have? You have this garbage scroll of shielding. Yeah, you're going to take that. You get a cool crown of skulls. We're not going to play out this whole turn. I do need to end the episode sometime, but let me make sure I do this now so that I don't forget and spend that money on something else. Clan Rictus was destroyed. It just got lost in the many... Oh yeah, there's a separate events tab up here that wasn't even open. Okay. So yeah, we can have Drazoth run up and claim Mount Crag. So we can take all of Gash Kadrak. And also, hopefully, generate some favor with the ogres. How are they feeling about us? Plus 12, trending toward plus 22. Military access is not completely off the table. We could get there if we just keep pushing. All right. A thing to keep an eye on. For the moment, though, I think that is where we are going to call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. So far, this push out into the outside world is going really well, and we didn't even have to worry about the backstabbing because our potential backstabbers did themselves get backstabbed in a pretty conclusive way. So I'm very pleased about that, even if it would maybe have been nice for us to take that land for ourselves. When you come back next time, we are going to maybe be wiping the greenskins off the map entirely, maybe making some new friends, and definitely getting our first major relic for the drill. And we'll see you then.